Rick, are you okay? Recording has started. Okay. So let everybody know you're recording so they don't begin to beat off like those people from CNN. All right. So welcome to another episode of Nightmare Road. I, of course, am your host, Deacon, here with the not disgusting, not mentally disturbed. See, now I look mentally disturbed. Just fucking what is your name?
Hmm? It's me.
It's you. Okay. Anyway, lot of slasher. So all right. So whenever people talk about David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, Richard Falco, and I think that was his name, right?
Yeah.
all these names, all these fucking, Mr. Tet. So all these names, people always go through and they're like, and then he shot this person, and then he shot, which, yeah, it's a big part of the case. But to me, the most interesting part was the fact that the way that his brain worked. And this guy loved to write,
Mhm.
And when you look into his letters, you get a huge, you get like a window into his mind. And you're able to go back and you're like, damn, this motherfucker. And then he's still alive. He's the son of hope now. So he's out there probably writing more letters.
There's hundreds online.
There's a lot. So we're just going to cover I wouldn't even say the most interesting one. I almost said the most ridiculous ones. The most interesting ones.
Some of the interesting. I haven't read all of them because that would be insane.
There's a lot. He wrote letters to people that lived underneath him.
Yeah.
Like in an apartment. And it's like, why?
Crazy letters.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. So anyway, quick rundown. Okay, so he stabbed a couple of girls.
Yeah, he stabbed two.
Stabbed two girls.
Yeah.
And remember, he didn't want to hurt them. He didn't want to cause harm to them. He just wanted to kill them. So remember that. Only kill them. Okay, who was his first shooting victim?
His first shooting, it was two people. Should I say their names? I mean, like, it's kind of...
No.
It was two girls, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old. The 18-year-old died. The 19-year-old got hurt.
Yeah.
Basically, he just walked up to their car and shot him 5 times. And
shot him.
Mm-hmm.
Did he also shoot a couple and he thought the guy was a girl because he had long hair?
I don't know about like that detail, but he did shoot a couple couples.
I think, yeah.
The next one actually was a couple. 20-year-old and an 18-year-old. They both lived, both just got hurt, but they the guy needed plates in his head because he got shot in the head. And I think the girl was
shot.
Yeah.
Which is insane because he shot him with a 44.
Shot him in the face, I'm pretty sure.
Shot him in the face, and that's just like a wonder of modern medicine. Shot him in the face with a 44. They use 44s to put down cattle. Like, think about that.
And like they lived. A lot of the people that he shot lived.
Yeah.
Like, really bad aim.
No, he was good, and that's what's crazy is the shots that he was taking. Well, number one was close range, but even the ones that he took at distance for a snub nose, that's pretty damn good.
Well, what I mean is like close range. Maybe he just gets, maybe he like freaks out a bit and he
gets like buck fever.
I don't know. It's
like
weird,
some people, yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense. I see what you're saying.
Because the next two also, it's two girls. They were walking home from the movies. One was 18, one was 16. 16-year-old got hurt. 18-year-old was paralyzed, but they both lived.
Jeez. But they both lived.
Mm-hmm.
What if he was just cursed? What if the whole time these dogs are just talking shit? Hey, you curly-haired fuck. Let me guess. Wait, you never went anywhere near Miss Chet with your loads, did you? Look at the way you're shooting. So yeah, it's so not just the thought of it. Like the fact that there's someone out there and you're just hanging out in your car. You could be hanging out. this after work, and you're like, man, that job sucks, right? Don't worry, man. One day we'll make it big in a band. You could be calling like a hotel, like, damn, is the room ready? Whatever you're doing out there. And then he just shows up and he just get gunned down out of nowhere, you
Yep.
know?
Some of them were, well, a lot of them, I guess, were couples. They were hanging out, they were making out, and this dude was like, "Nope, not today," and he went and he shot
Looking at it's like 2 hours, and then
him.
bang.
Yeah, long time.
It was a long damn thing.
Yeah. So
Huh.
I don't know if it was just that he didn't I don't know, didn't appreciate that it wasn't him or something. Like in one of the letters, it he tells, like, I need a
Is,
girlfriend, blah blah blah.
is that it? Is that all the
No,
people he shot?
no. The next two were a 26-year-old, and she was killed, and a 30-year-old, he was hurt. They were parked in a car, and I think they were just like talking or something. He went up to the car and shot them. Um, the guy was hurt, and the girl, the 26-year-old, she died later in the hospital.
He was like, oh man, go to your mother's. I'd rather die, and then bang, bang.
Oh my god, jeez. I mean,
Um,
at that point. Um,
yeah,
yeah. The next one was a girl by herself. She was 19, and he killed her. She was walking home from school, and I think he shot her in the face, and she
damn.
was dying. That girl, that like victim or whatever that died, was the first time that he left a letter calling himself the son of Sam. Which that one, did I even put that one in here? I don't even think I put it in here, but I'll link it anyway, and I'll show it,
Yeah,
or I'll add it after. But yeah, in that letter, he talks about it's weird. Like he calls himself like a monster. He calls himself a little brat. He like says like I'll be back or whatever. It's super weird.
he's like, I'm such a little brat, and you're expecting him to have like highlights in his hair and like a piercing and like a tramp stamp, you know,
And no, he was just a little curly headed kid.
little curly headed fuck.
Yeah. The next one, oh, actually, like after that letter came in, they matched a bullet, and they told people like there might be a serial killer, and he's targeting pretty girls with like long like brown hair, like dark hair. And so everybody started going and cutting their hair and like getting it blonde or like lighter, or they would just stay, like indoors at night if they didn't want to cut
Yeah,
their
can
hair.
you imagine? Can you imagine it was girls out there that like think they're ugly and they're like, he's not gonna get me because I'm ugly, and you're just sitting in the car because they they said, or you've been sitting in the car hoping that you're a pretty girl, to prove everybody wrong, and you don't get shot, and they're like, and they just go home. You're just eating a bowl of shit. Anyway,
It's like the ones
so
that didn't get killed by Ed Kemper.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
He's
not
like, how can we know? He's like, I didn't get a ride, I didn't get a ride home. Um,
kidding. Next two was an 18-year-old and 20-year-old. They both died. They were um, parked in the car. Oh, sorry. Okay, so it wasn't the last one that he left the letter. It was this one with the two people. They were parked in the car. He shot them. They both died, and then he left the letter.
you know what's crazy is if you put a list, when you go through his stuff and then you're like, man, how many people did he shoot? You're like, okay, that's not that many people. When you think about it, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, he did shoot a lot. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What is it? 12, 13 ish people, and
Jeez.
like half of them lived, or like more
Half
than
of them.
half lived. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
so Mr. Magoo, son of Sam.
Can you imagine how traumatizing though? Like that's insane.
Fuck it, you'll never go outside again.
No, I never even go
You're like,
outside.
what am I? Yeah, like, can you imagine?
No.
Jeez.
Let's see. The next two, I guess. They were sitting in the car after leaving a disco, and he went and shot them both, 17-year-old and a 20-year-old. Ew.
Jeez. Yeah, you
That's
after leaving a disco, you're gonna go. Imagine listening to shitty music. You're sitting there taking an ear beating this whole time, and then you go and then you get shot.
yeah.
It's like you're leaving the disco. You're trying to bang this chick, and you're like, she loves disco,
17
and
and
then
20.
well, yeah. Guess which one hates disco? So, um, so he's like, oh man, this night can't get any worse, and then bang.
And then he gets shot. I think the majority of them got shot like in the arm, legs, like stuff like that. I think only some of them got shot in the face. Even the ones that got shot in the face ended up living, a lot of them. The last two were
Imagine the damn police report, the damn announcement on TV. If you're a young couple out there, be careful. We have a serial wounder.
yeah, he hasn't killed anybody yet. He's shot about 20.
he, he doesn't kill people. You have a serial inconveniencer.
Jeez. Can you imagine? That was his whole thing. He just likes to send him to the hospital. Doesn't even want to.
Yeah, he doesn't want to kill them. He just wants to like spend money they don't have.
Yeah, you don't have insurance.
Yeah, he just targets college people or people with shitty clothes.
It's literally only like 18, 20-year-olds. I think
Yeah, or Hispanic people.
Oh, there I go. I think the oldest one was 30. So, yeah. The next and last two were two 20-year-olds. One of them was killed. This was a girl. Her name is Stacy. Only going to say her name because her name is in one of the letters. Her name is Stacy. She was killed, and the guy, he was also 20, and he was blinded in one eye. This last like killing or whatever was the one that kind of got everybody scared, which like why wouldn't all the other ones? I don't really get it, but this last one brought fear to everyone, and that's when the police started looking around.
They're like, damn, she was hot and he shot her.
And she died. So that was July 31st. He got arrested August 10th. So it was very quick after he stopped shooting people. And the reason that he got arrested or that they found out who he was because a girl that was walking her dogs said that she remembers a cream-colored car getting a ticket. Said they were writing a ticket to like this car and it was parked in that spot. And so they went, like the police went and they were trying to find this ticket, couldn't find it anywhere. Finally found it like in a back room, like under some stuff, like just thrown there. Found out that it was like that car, found his name, went to his apartment to try to, find him.
And they found the cheese.
Yeah, they looked in his car. He had like a bunch of maps. He had
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, he liked maps. It was very odd. I think he like pinpointed where all the crime scenes were on one of the maps. He had letters. They like recognized his handwriting. Like it's weird. Very weird.
They found curly hair. At first they thought it was pubes, and then they're like, I think it was hair on his head.
No, it's just his head.
Curly hair.
Yeah.
So that was the shooting.
Yeah,
so
that's how they got him.
Yeah, those are the shootings. Okay, now we're gonna read from a couple of. This is what to me is the most interesting part, of everything was just the letters.
Do you remember though what he said when they caught him?
No, what did he say?
They waited for him to walk out of his apartment.
Oh yeah.
They arrested him, and then he said, "Well, you got me. How come it took you so long?"
Yes.
Jeez, dude. Like, what is wrong with you?
And then I think an officer said he was not who they expected. In a very dopey voice, he said,
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, you got me. What took you so long? Like it was the closing of an old sitcom. And then the credits roll.
Luckily, they got him when they did because he told them that on August 6th, which was 4 days before they arrested him, August 6th, he was on his way to commit a mass shooting at some campground. He said it was raining really hard and that like the demons told him to pull over. So he pulled over, he turned around, went back home, and then the demons were like, I can't believe you're such a failure. You didn't even shoot
I
anybody.
can't. Yeah, she was like, look at his hair. You think his hair wants to be caught up in the rain? You think you guys are scary? Wait till you see this damn June throw out in the rain.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. He said he was
That
bored.
was
Like, he's glad he
he,
got
he
caught. He was bored of
was like
the
bored. I
same.
cannot wait. He says to commit a mass wounding.
Yeah.
People are gonna get their earlobes shut off. You're gonna be missing a pinky.
Jeez. Well, one of them missed an eye, so there's
This
that.
guy's gonna go over there. He's gonna get not the testicles, the skin around the testicles, perfectly right in between, and miss both testicles. You know, put a
found-
put a put a hole in the old laundry bag.
Jeez. Now there's two. Okay. I found a picture of him when he was in the army. Are you ready to see it?
No, hold on. Damn it, I said no. It looks like if he takes off that hat, it's not the hat that's pointy, it's his head.
It's his head. But that all the volume under the hat is just his hair.
What the hell's Mike Manzi doing on the?
There's nothing under there. It's
Oh, holy shit!
What?
You know what's sad?
What?
He kind of looks like me.
No, he does not. Shut up.
I'm gonna go commit a mass wounding.
All right, I'll say that on here.
Well, I'll say it. They'll be like, yeah, he's gonna miss. So, yeah. So, all right. So fucking idiot. Put up the old picture that we were laughing at last week.
Where is it? Which one is it? The one with the stupid shirt?
The dumbass shirt.
The one with the stupid. Wait, did I delete it? I think I deleted it.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, there's that. That's
Oh well. Let's take it up
typical woman. So.
I don't need it anymore.
All right. Let's get on. Let's get in on some of these letters.
Okay. First one, I guess I'll put up. I renamed childhood, so it's about his childhood. Okay. So I highlighted some parts. What?
He writes like a girl. Look at that handwriting.
Yeah, this is nothing compared to like his Son of Sam writing. Which I told you I think it looks kind of cool. But either way. So I didn't say I want him to write me a letter. I just said I think it looks cool. So this one, he talks about his child playmates, and all of these letters are things that he wrote to his psychiatrist, I think.
Yeah.
So here he says, I've always fantasized about being close to young girls with whom I was sexually attracted to. In reality, I never had sex with them, much less talked with them. Like, if you want to read the whole thing, go ahead. But in this one, he talks about how he basically like made up an imaginary relationship with these girls. Literally said, in my relationship, though my imaginary one, I had a wonderful relationship with them. Like, it's insane. It's insane. He's crazy. He says, I talked with them, revealing my innermost desires, thoughts, and secrets. I also made out with them often.
This fantasy. Look how crazy that is. That is why would you say that? That is embarrassing.
Because he's insane.
He's like, my relationship was good.
Yeah, and actually you said it's embarrassing, and he says it in like this second part. He says he always knows that they were imaginary, that they were only like fantasies. In reality, I never knew them. This is why I won't name them or reveal their names. They were real people, and I don't want to embarrass myself.
Like Jenny from Walmart or some shit.
And then says, I also don't want to build up their egos. Like,
yeah. Could you imagine it? Like,
not what's happening.
He's like, hey, do you remember? Do you remember this guy? And shows him the picture of put up the shirt with the military guy.
the military one.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Oh, sorry.
Well,
Okay, look, this is the first time that I have this many files on here, so it's a little bit hard.
it's like, oh, guess who I had an imaginary relationship with? And they're like, who? Who imaginarily boned you? It's like Ernest goes to the army.
Oh God, can you imagine this? Like, okay, so he's like, I don't want to build up their egos. Look at this person. I don't think that that's
Look
the
at that.
first thing that they're
That's not a habit.
like.
He he looks like he's on his way to like a Korean like work labor camp.
It's so weird. It's so.
And look
Didn't he
how
go to Korea?
the what?
He did go to Korea, didn't
Yeah,
he? Yeah.
like he looks like he's a POW. Like that. Look at his uniform. Like that.
It's
That would never pass inspection. It's wrinkled out of. Look at the collar. That's not allowed. Yeah,
like
it's supposed to be.
yeah.
Yeah, look, that's supposed to be perfectly folded. There's supposed to be no creases in between. And then look at his hat. It's not perfectly straight. Yeah, he's a fucking mess.
His little curly chest hair. You see it?
He, oh, it looks like Popeye's son. He has that one giant curly hair.
Yeah.
So they try to cut and he would always break the scissors. Anyway,
Weird.
his chest pube.
Yeah.
So
It says in that letter, he didn't want to build up their egos. And then he says, to this day, I continually dream up make-believe relationships. I daydream of them every waking moment.
could you? Oh, jeez, he's like, and in my imagination, Miss Chet cheated on me, and I went.
Jeez, that's crazy. I have one here that I think you're gonna like because I think you agree with him a little bit when it comes to this. So I'll tell you when that comes up. In this one, this is the reason why I'm just gonna it's gonna skip around. It's not really going in order because it's way too much to.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and like look up David Berkowitz's letters, and you will be bombarded with hundreds.
I'll link the website. There's a website that has 4 folders, and there's hundreds in each folder. So
some of these, didn't some of them even go to like cafeteria people? Like, remember when you served?
Well, those 4 folders are just to his psychiatrist, and then there's like another list where it's like other like random letters. It's insane. There's hundreds and hundreds of letters that you can see.
Yeah, it made no sense.
No, he's crazy. Okay, so this one is the same day as like this other childhood whatever thing. Except here he's talking about how he acted in court. Said the courtroom scene in which I played a madman was an act. I called Stacy, which is the last girl that he killed. I called Stacy a whore to get at her mother and embarrass her. I also wanted to make believe Stacy was my mother.
What?
I don't know.
Hey, she died, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny? Like, not really. I was gonna say if he pulls out a Ouija board and he's like trying to contact him, and he's like, "Hey, ma."
Like I don't know what that means. Like
I wanted to make.
it was my mother.
Do you think? Okay, here's the question. These were all written to his psychologist. He says, I made believe like I was insane, and then he proceeds to say insane shit. Do you think this was like a ploy for the psychologist to be like, the therapist be like, this motherfucker's crazy? That makes no sense at all.
Maybe, but I mean, he admitted multiple times in so many letters. Oh God, I've read so many letters.
Because how can you say something like, I pretended to be crazy, and then proceed to say something really fucking crazy?
Well, it's because I think like maybe he was just saying like I pretended to be crazy, like I can hear dogs talking to me, but then there's just actually crazy, like calling one of your victims a whore in front of their mom.
Yeah, he's like, fuck. I pretended like I heard that German Shepherd talk shit. He says, in reality, he was a fucking Yorkie around the fucking corner. That motherfucker. He talked so much shit. I'm not gonna repeat anything he said. But by the way, he loves that hot dog stand over there, Frank's Red Hots. I mean, if you're gonna go over there and buy those fucking hot dogs yourself, I mean, go ahead. Who am I to judge? You know that's your fucking business. You want to eat a shitty hot dog. But anyway, I mean, that's besides the point. This fucking Yorkie. He should hear what he says.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. I don't know where you found that letter, but he said all of
He
that.
no, he wrote it to me.
Oh, you
Then he
should have
called
brought
me a
it.
whore and wanted me to be his dad. I'm like, dude, what the
Well,
fuck?
he'd be right. Okay, so
Such a piece of shit.
okay. um, so at the bottom here, he had a girlfriend named Iris, and he writes down here, I never had oral sex with Iris. I can't, Gerhardt or something. I only said it to Dr. Blah, 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 his psychiatrist, in order to make myself look big and experienced in the ways of love. Because nothing says love like oral with your
yeah,
girlfriend.
like mouth sex,
Yeah, that's what love.
like the mouth tango. So the old train tunnel of the mouth. So the old okay. Anyway, so yeah, no, that's like a lot of these, and that's what to me is interesting is if you could sit there and just read the kind of shit, and to him, he's he's saying profound shit. Otherwise, he wouldn't write so much.
In a way, because there are some that obviously I didn't bring on here because it would be a million hour, long video. There are some where he says at the top of his letter, like, I'm just writing down like things that I thought about throughout the day. And it's literally just words. Like it's like
Yeah,
vending machine, and then he'll write something else. I'm like, what do you like? It's just things he thinks of. Like he just likes to write. I think like he just has so much going on up there that he needs to like, take it out somehow. He's crazy.
yeah, and that's a mental condition.
Hmm.
Um, so I
But
forget.
there's a difference, I think, between like people that have that it's just there's too much in there, and also him there's too much, but also he's insane. You know,
Yeah,
like it's
it's it's just
he's
so
crazy.
it's crazy. And then the fact that imagine you keep getting letters from some psycho you used to live next to, and you
Hmm.
found out that he like wounded a bunch of people in the city.
Yeah, he wrote letters to his neighbors, every single one of them. But the one that lived below him, like he would write, I think, like, I don't think he even signed it that it was like him, but he would put like chase something something, and like I'll be back, blah blah blah, like the whatever
He
is
drew
complete, like just super weird stuff.
a German Shepherd with a gun. Um, no, there was even a letter I don't know if you have it on there, but there was a letter which it sounds like they don't know who he was talking to, but they sound like it was an interaction between him and his cab driver. When
I don't
it
have
was just like he was talking about the city, and it's like we talked about the city, and we talked about how it's going down the hill, and your wage, and how many people you pick up. So it's either a bus driver or a taxi driver without any context. It's like, and I don't know if he intended to send that letter because that's not a lot of information. Like, oh, find the taxi driver, which I spoke to,
that.
But then also he was a taxi driver, so
He was.
I wonder if he was talking like to a coworker.
Maybe. I
But it was a dumb letter. Like it made no sense. Like it was just it had no point. Kind of like this show. There's no point.
Yeah, exactly like this. Do you think that he became a taxi driver because he liked maps so much, or you think he liked maps because he became a taxi driver? He was obsessed with maps for some reason. Like the little girls, his what was it, like his sisters, his nieces. they had gone to like some church thing and they were giving out maps, and one of them was like, oh, I'm gonna like take this to Uncle Richie, like he loves maps. Like, so like everybody knew that he. What happened?
Thought I heard a Mexican woman screaming.
No, that was the police. So maybe the sirens
Yeah,
don't also.
yeah,
Um,
and her screaming in the back of the car.
like yeah, it was ice. So he liked maps. Everybody, I guess, knew that he liked maps. When the police showed up and they looked in his car, he had a bunch of maps. He was just a weirdo for maps. I don't know
You
what
know
it
what
was.
else? What else they said was weird, that he liked textures. So like even people that were prison guards, they say that whenever there was something new, he would go and just touch it. He would just like touch it. And I think he describes in one of his letters the uniform that he wore and how it was made of this, and how he even talks about Miss Chet and how she was wearing this and the texture felt like this. So it's just some like a creep.
Do you think he
Maps
had
and
like sensory issues, or you think he was like
I
autistic or something?
I I I think he might have been like pretty Rain Man. You know, when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. And you better not laugh at this because I'm really self conscious about this. If you
Okay.
laugh at this, I'm quitting the show and I'm never coming back. And you have to host this show by yourself. Okay.
Just kidding. Go.
Why do I try?
I don't know.
I don't even mean the show. I mean that life. Why don't I just fucking end it all? Call David Berkowitz. Like, dude, wound me. You can die of an infection.
Are you looking for a way out?
A little bit. So okay. So when I was a kid, I watched Brain Man for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't understand that he was like severely autistic. I thought the whole time I watched the movie and I was super confused because I thought he was an alien the whole time. And then I was like, this is a shitty alien. Like, he's worse than ET. You know? Like, at least ET did cool shit. All he does is like freak out at restaurants and, and count stuff.
What did
So,
he do that was cool?
oh,
E.T.
like for example, he was able to heal people by like touching them. His
Was
finger would glow. He was like, ow. Like touch them.
is he right there next to you?
Yeah, he's my roommate.
Oh,
I'm waiting for him to pay this month's rent, and I'm at the portal. Um,
if you
so
turn in, you get some money. I think
yeah, I think it's like what is it, like 10 grand?
1,500. I think per.
So even that's worth it. Give me $50. So yeah, so I thought he was like I thought he was just an alien. I'm like, and I expected him at the end of the movie to like go into a spaceship, and go back to his planet, but he never did, and I was confused. I'm like, what the hell kind of shitty alien movie was that? I
What happened at the end?
I don't even fucking remember. Probably Tom Cruise like dropped him off at a bus stop and said good luck. Uh,
I don't remember.
what did you just laugh?
No, the story was over. I didn't laugh at I didn't laugh at your story.
Okay, good. Because it would hurt my feelings. I look a certain way, but I'm actually a very emotional person.
It's true. Okay. So next one, would you want to talk about how he was a pervert or how he liked to miss school? Oh, you want to see his Mother's Day poem?
Yes, I read it last week.
Okay. So the poem, this is actually an article in the newspaper that was written, or the article wasn't written, but it was his mom and his sister were like interviewed, I guess, and he was very upset about it. He sent the entire article, it was like 5 pages. He sent copies to his psychiatrist, and he's like, I'm very angry. She made money off of this. She didn't even tell me she was going to do this, blah, blah, blah. They just like spill the beans about everything. So she put on here that the poem said, "So as once before, we've been destined to meet once more. And I guess the time is now. I should say hello, but how? Happy Mother's Day. You were my mother in a very special way. Love, RF."
Love Richie. Richie Falco. Hey!
Beautiful poem.
You missed out the other. You missed out the other part of the poem.
That's all she put in the thing.
Oh well, remember that it was like you were my mother in a special way. You let me have a 44. You made me talk to all these dogs, and they told me to kill some more. I only managed to wound the people. Maybe I should have been a better shot. Look at my fucking curly hair. Sincerely yours,
See, was
son of Sam.
when I was searching for the thing, it only came up here. Like what was in that one. I didn't know that you had a conversation with her and got the rest of it. You should have told me.
Yeah,
I embarrassed myself only putting half of it on here.
yeah. No, she showed me the letter. She let me have it. She got it as a tramp stamp on her back.
Did you also get it as a tramp stamp?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, never mind. Okay.
No, that'd be stupid.
Did
I
you
don't
get the
know.
second part of this letter as a tramp stamp?
No, I got the letter about the imaginary girlfriends.
I think you got another one. I'll show it to you right now. So remember when he had said that she was like, my son, like whatever, screaming.
Yeah. My son.
That actually happened.
Actually did. That was just him
Yeah.
talking shit.
So it's right here on the bottom.
Let's see.
It says, as Betty remembers the first words her son ever spoke to her, her voice fills with tenderness. He sounded like a little boy. I'm your son, Richard Falco, he said. You gave birth to me. You gave birth to me on June 1st, 1953. Minutes later, Rosalind received a call from her mother. She was completely hysterical, Rosalind recalls. She kept crying, my son, my son, my son, it's my son.
But you said he sounded like a little boy. Like, put that letter back up.
Can you imagine?
Okay, so he sounded like a little boy. I'm your son, Bob. I'm your son, Richie Falco. Hey, people call me Richie. Hey, it's a Richie Falco. You know, the son of Sam. I haven't done that yet, though, so don't talk about that. But you gave birth to me out of your vagine on June 1st, 1953. That's a poem.
Should have been
He
the
sounded
second.
like a little boy.
A little
That
boy.
was, yeah, that was the director's cut.
That quote actually, like, it's me, your son. It reminds me of. Do you remember Waterboy? The very end when the dad comes and he's like, "It's me, Roberto."
It's me, Roberto.
Yeah, except it's not.
Tiger Woods and his daddy. Yeah, yeah. They have the same
Geez.
hair though.
they did have the same hair.
Fucking dumbass.
So
Probably
stupid.
same stupid fucking shirt. Anyway, so damn, we don't have time for one more letter here, but it's a
One more. Okay, look. I'll go through it quick because there's stuff.
Okay,
in
you know what? Let's do this. Let's do the pervert letter, and then we'll do one more after that.
Okay, so the pervert one, he says, almost every waking moment I find myself fantasizing, but I'm troubled by them. My fantasies, they're almost all either sexual in nature or violent. I'm really quite perverted. I do believe, however, that others fantasize the same things as me. If I could be absolutely sure they do, I'd be greatly relieved.
That is insane because a lot of predators, they actually like to take off the burden because they know what they're doing is fucked up. So what they do in their heads is like that person's doing the same thing too. You know?
So that's not his only weird thing. Here he talks about how he thinks that if he were to have a good mature sexual relationship with a woman, he wouldn't have killed anyone.
That's the one that's the one I wanted to bring up last week. That is insane.
Yeah. he says, if I would have been able to participate in many kinds of sex acts and in orgies, I wouldn't have killed. I would have been content and happy. Sex, I believe, is the answer, the way to happiness. Like, sir.
You know, there was there was a rumor. Don't I'm not saying this is fact. This is just something that's out there. So there was a rumor that he tried joining like a satanic cult for the orgies, and when he was denied, like, no, we don't have orgies here, that he just like stormed out.
I I mean, if that's what you're trying to join for, you would be upset if they said, "Hey, we don't we don't do that."
Yeah, could you imagine? You're already wearing the stupid robe and a stupid hat. You know, you've already fluffed yourself, and then you're the only one that's standing. Look at that!
You walk in like this, and you're like, "Hey, I'm here for the orgies." They're like, "We don't got them."
Like,
Then you have to
this is a
walk
man.
home.
This is a male's barracks. What are you talking about?
You have to walk home looking like this.
Just we gotta walk home with that stupid uniform,
Yeah.
all fucked up. He's over there walking with an erection, and he's the only one in the rope with an erection.
Um. Okay, so this one is the one that there's like 3 sections in this one. They're all short. But in this second part, I think is the one where you're gonna agree with him. So
Okay, go ahead.
okay. So in this second part, he says, "Women, I blame them for everything. Everything evil that's happened in this world, somehow it goes back to them. I hate them for messing up everything in this world. They've really screwed my life up good."
So, is this after he got help and got therapy, and then he was about to get relieved? Because that letter doesn't. That makes sense.
This is after his whole
After he got help,
yeah. This is not
if he if I was part of the parole board and he handed me that letter, I'd be like, "Yeah, sir, you're free to go."
You don't seem crazy at all.
No, you don't seem crazy
Really,
at all. Like,
the majority,
finally,
it was women. I don't blame you.
it's like, okay, well, finally a letter that makes sense. That gay ass poem you wrote to your mom, that's fucking garbage. You presented that to me, I almost spat in your face. But this makes sense. Go
Yeah,
ahead, my dear boy.
it makes
Here's
sense.
a
It's ridiculous.
and then like the door opens and there's a rainbow and he runs across the rainbow and finds a pot of gold. Finds a part of 44 rounds.
He was just crazy. I think. Like, I blocked out that second one because it says kind of explicit things. I didn't want to
What does
deal
it
with all
say?
that. It talks about touching himself.
What do you mean?
So so you know,
Huh?
so yeah. Anyway, I think I only have one more actually,
Really?
and
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
it's talking about the stealing stuff. Okay, wait. So in this pervert one, he talks about going to school and how he liked to stay home a lot when he was at public school. Um, I wanted to actually come back to this one because I remembered something that was in here that was very weird to me. So he said he wasn't sick. He played sick. In the morning, he would say, "Mom, I don't feel well." She would put her hand on my forehead and say, "It does feel very hot." Then I'd get to stay
Feels like
home.
you have curly hair.
I had this trick of pressing my head against the radiator before I went over to my mother with my sickness complaint.
What stuff? You know how hot a radiator is?
Yeah, so he'd put his head up to the radiator and then go and be like, "Hey, Mom, I have a fever." And she would be like, "Wow, that is hot."
He's got like scalding marks on his forehead.
Yeah, he has like
Yeah,
grill marks.
yeah, grill marks on his forehead and penis.
So, so that's not the weird part. The weird part is this one. It says sometimes my mother would make me take the thermometer into my rectum. I used to tell her, "I'll put it in myself. Leave the room. You're embarrassing me by standing there and watching me." Then after she left, I'd run over to the radiator, put the metal up against it. I did this for a minute, then run over to the bed, put the thermometer back in. When Mom checked it, sure enough, I had a fever. So this lady was standing there
Watching him.
like, "Hey, can you like No wonder he went out and shot people. Like, jeez.
Imagine it's not even like those little medical thermometers. It's those fucking thermometers that have like the rooster on it. It's gigantic. It tells you that. And then he's like trying to shove that whole damn thing in there, like after it's piping hot because he held it up to the radiator and he just
The ones
smelled
that
like burning.
is the ones
It
that go
smells like
outside.
yeah, it just smells like a burning, like a burning bush, and then like here's showbiz. That's how we do it in Hollywood.
Jeez.
When you stick the thermometer up your rectum, that's how I come. Anyway,
Oh boy.
so that's
Maybe him. All right. This is the last one.
showbiz.
Do you have time for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this one we talked about it briefly about how he used to like to steal things. This one he says that he would steal from his parents nickels and dimes. He would rifle through.
Rectal thermometers.
Yeah, he liked that. He would rifle through the piggy bank and his mom's purse. And that the most, I thought he stole more or like bigger things, but apparently the biggest thing or the most that he ever stole was $1 from her purse. So he would do it a couple times, and she never noticed or whatever.
Well, no, it's $1.
Yeah.
I just imagine him just like rifling through like the rectal thermometers, and he finally finds one, and he's like, I found $1.
That's what you were doing?
Yeah, I went through a lot for that bit, and it wasn't even worth it.
I could see you rifling through like your whole house looking for something. All right.
That's it. A pencil. That's how I make.
Why doesn't it have an eraser?
Because I don't make mistakes.
It's a good one. Okay. So.
I winked, and then you cut it off with a fucking letter. Might as well.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Okay, let's see. Why doesn't it have an eraser?
Because I don't. Because I. Huh?
Why doesn't the pencil have an eraser?
Oh, let me look at my lines again. Okay, because I don't make mistakes, bitch. And wink at the camera.
It's a good one, huh? All right. So here he says.
What was that?
What?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
He used to steal from his friends, from his parents. He would take dumb stuff, paper clips, soap, thumbtacks. And then he would get home and he would just he'd probably just rinse them out and hang them to dry.
Of his dishes.
Yeah, on a wooden spoon. He would get back and throw the stolen items away, and that's just he liked. What's wrong?
That's so dumb. Is this our final episode? People are gonna think that we hate each other.
Maybe. I didn't even say anything to you. I was talking about David Berkowitz.
I thought you called me a hoe.
I would never do that.
Twice.
It was only once. I mean, I didn't do that. So here he talks about how he used to crush. What did you say?
He used to crush?
What did you say? Real quick, what was that? I couldn't hear you because you were mumbling.
Mumbling?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't make mistakes.
He used to crush his grandma's crackers. He says, just for the hell of it, he says. They seem to think that I got it that way in the store. They never knew I was the one who always crushed the product. Like, what kind of menace? Like, what?
I thought this was going somewhere else.
No.
I was gonna say, I used to crush my grandmother's head.
Like, I didn't know. He started talking about his grandma, and I was like, oh, he used to steal stuff from his grandma too. And then he talks about crushing the crackers.
Crushed her crackers.
He would
That's the
crush
equivalent.
and just leave them there.
He's like, I became a real sick fuck. Then I used to go and take her notebooks and just fold the corner in one of them.
It's ridiculous. They seem to think that they got it that way in the store. They never knew I was the one who always crushed the product. Like, for what?
I'm gonna start doing that.
Like in the store, kicking all the boxes
Yeah.
of crackers.
Yeah, we're taking like an old person looking at crackers and crushed their head. So this was a really good episode. See how weird this guy is. It's like it's stupid.
And there's so many more things.
And there's more.
Scratching the surface. There's so much more. I'm gonna put the thing down
Should
there.
we, should we do this again? Like go into more letters, or just move on?
Just make
Let's do it.
Series.
Yeah, there's so much.
There's a lot. There'll be a lot.
All right. Anyways, guys. Jeez. Look for a new co-host.
What?
Crush the crackers? Can't believe he used to do that. That's insane.
What did you say?
Like,
it's crazy that I couldn't hear you because usually you just keep talking. Now you just won't say anything.
Why are you being so aggressive? You know what? Go back to his letter and then tell me that he was wrong. So anyway, yeah, this was a great episode. So weird. This guy was so. Yeah. So go down to T Public. Look at my shitty art. I might just make a picture of like a cracker with like it's crushed.
A crushed cracker.
Yeah, just a crushed cracker and a 44. And then you know exactly like you know what I mean.
That was him. But a New York
Like
skyline.
yeah, over there in like a used condom over a wooden spoon.
New York skyline, the crushed cracker is the moon.
Yeah.
Writes itself.
A Ritz, yeah.
Ridiculous. Anyway.
It's got like a rectal thermometer as like a lamppost. A little bit of pubic hair like spring. Anyway, all right, guys. So thank you for joining us, and we'll just continue this next week because this is insane. So, yeah, like and subscribe, share the show. If you know anybody that hates the elderly, just send them this episode, especially women. And that's it, guys. Loot by Lottie. You guys go ahead and buy a box. 10% off your first order. Hit Lucky Loot. What else? Oh, Shaun Burris. Check out his show. Just check out the Ghost Man over at Shadow Nation. So yeah, that's about it. So remember, guys, to always look both ways, especially when somebody crushes your rectal thermometer.